going on with the Dallas Mavericks. We talked about it about a week and a half ago with how they screwed up this Luka situation, but basically since then they've gone 2-3. Anthony Davis has played a grand total of about three quarters.
Let me get this straight. Davis leaves LeBron and immediately gets hurt.
Yeah, that's bad
Davis
luck.
leaves
That's
LeBron.
bad luck.
He plays damn near every game for the Los Angeles Lakers, pending a boo-boo every now and then. And then now he's out for a significant amount of time for the first time.
When he first got to the Lakers, it was a problem. Yeah, and then he tightened up and got more healthy. But then he had this abductor problem that he had in that first first quarter, the third quarter.
And then he came back. Great. And then he came back and played.
And he was playing great. And then Jason Kidd didn't speak to the media. And that never happens. And then he didn't speak to the media again last night when they lost to the Kings. That never happens. So now we're getting less of Kidd, and Nico Harrison has not been to the games. People have been chanting "Fire Nico." Did you see the fans are cheering "Fire Nico" at the games? And
yeah,
then they're getting
they have
escorted
signs.
out, and then they're getting escorted out.
And they have signs. They have signs too. And you know,
let me get this straight. So we're kicking fans out because they have a problem with how the with how the general manager made a game-altering, a league-altering move. Now we're going to kick fans out because of that?
I have a little sister that works for the Mavericks, as you guys know. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt here, but it's hard to, Colin. It really is
How
hard
are you going to kick fans out?
How
How are you kicking fans? Unless they're really openly berating somebody.
I know.
But if they're openly berating, saying fire a general manager or sell the team, that happens at every sporting event.
I told you when this trade happened, I said it's more likely that they miss the playoffs than make the playoffs after the trade. They're missing the playoffs, bro.
I mean, 10 teams get in, but yeah.
With all due respect to Klay Thompson, and you guys know how much I love Kyrie Irving too, that's not going to be enough. And with Anthony Davis being out a month and them being 2-3 already, like I don't know, Kyle. I think this is going to spiral. I think it's going to get bad. And I think, listen, we mentioned they're going to need a championship in order to justify this trade. I don't see how you could even win a championship with that team when Anthony Davis is healthy. So I think they're stuck.
Well, the thing is, he played and he played great. He played great. He came in. He had 24 points or something like that at half. He was playing really, really well, and he was chanting like, "I'm here. This is my city." And then all of a sudden, end of third quarter, he goes down to the locker room with an abductor injury that now he's going to need.
Well, with how this is it not?
Everybody said this is a 31, 32-year-old that has injury issues in his past.
Right.
And you're trading your face of the franchise for that, and then he gets hurt in the first game. That's almost God talking to you and saying you shouldn't have done that.
A lot of people are saying it's poetic justice with how they handled the situation with Luka, not telling him that, hey, man, we're looking into trading you, not doing their due diligence of, hey, this guy's on the market.
It came out today. It did come out today that apparently they went after the T-Wolves and the Bucks to see if they were interested in Luka.
Are you buying it?
I'm not surprised that the Bucks said no in exchange for Giannis,
right?
Because Giannis is a multi-time MVP.
I'm not. Listen,
Anthony Edwards, though. I mean, if they throw out Luka for Anthony Edwards, I mean, you at least have to have a conversation.
You listen to it, and I'm not trying to foo-foo that reporter who came out with that, but forgive me for thinking that that's just maybe a thing that's getting pushed out there to make it look better, to make the situation look better. I don't know what to believe anymore with that, Colin. All I know is that team's in trouble, and I stand by what I said. I think it's more likely they miss the playoffs rather than – and when I say the playoffs, Colin, after that ridiculous 10-team
it's not like, listen, if they were a play-in team
they don't get out of that
Luka,
play-in game.
If they were within that play-in game with Luka and it didn't go well or they lost in the first round or somehow or other, the fans are disappointed, but they're not going to be – so upset and annoyed and deceived that they're going to, grab the pitchforks and hang outside the arena. Instead, now that you've done this, and now that this move was done, especially to the backs of the fans, now all of a sudden any sort of shortcoming is so much more magnified in the grand scheme of how the fans view the team and how the fans view the owners and how the fans view the general manager. There's no trust.
No, none. And let's rewind to what you said about if they had Luka and they didn't get out of the play-in tournament, fine. And you want to know what Maverick fans would say? We went to the championship last year. We have Luka Doncic, a young and rising superstar, will be back again. Do you think a Dallas Maverick fan, if they make the play-in tournament and don't be one of those 8 teams after that 7-10 tournament, if they don't make the 1-8, are saying, yeah, you know what, we'll be back again? there's no guarantee you're going to be back again because you don't have Luka Doncic. You don't have the most.
The age is not there. You don't. You have aging stars.
Guys, I know you got on my case a little bit about being hard on AD, and you guys know I like Kentucky basketball, and AD won a championship for the Cats. Listen. I'm not trying to sit here and go after Anthony Davis. I still don't think he's a. I still stand by what I said.
He's not playing. The problem is,
I understand he's not playing. It's probably unfair for me to say
as long as he's playing.
I don't think
you're missing the. He got hurt. That's the problem.
Is Anthony Davis enough to win it? Is Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, and Klay Thompson enough to win a championship?
I mean, yeah,
you're lying to yourself.
Hold on,
Colin, you're lying to yourself.
Mike, you're circling back big picture for no reason. I'm saying he got hurt. The reason is this was an avoidable problem. They knew that this guy would get hurt. You're talking about big picture. Fine, we said this last week.
All right.
But my point is, now all of a sudden he plays for a half, plays well, and now he's hurt, and now the team looks like idiots with no backup plan, and now they're losing games and with a major injury on their hands, and now it's all much more magnified. And while Luka's going to be on the Lakers, and the Lakers have won 6 straight.
Yeah, and he didn't have the best opening performance either, but that's something you can live with.
They've won 6 straight. They played great. They're reinvigorated.
Let's go back to the AD thing. All right, let's circle around to both what happened with him getting hurt and the big picture part. It stinks he got hurt, yes. I don't think Anthony Davis is a number one that could get you to an
Nobody's
NBA
disagreeing
Finals.
with that. Nobody's disagreeing with that.
Okay, and I don't think that Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, and Kyrie Irving can win a championship. So when we sit here and say they have to win a championship in order to justify this, is there more? They're going to have to do more to win a championship. They're going to have to add more to this team. They're going to have to get another star on this team. Maybe they could do it with four perennial stars. Maybe they add one more star. Maybe he's not a 1A or whatever.
Who are they going to add?
That's right.
The trade deadline.
That's what I'm asking. What are they going to do? If we're saying they need to win a championship in order to justify this, what the hell could they possibly do to win a championship?
The guy got hurt.
I don't see it.
I know. This is where they look stupid because everybody from the rooftops was screaming, "Hey, this guy's going to get hurt. He's 32 years old, and whether he was healthy or not coming in, he's had injury problems his whole career. Doesn't matter how good he's playing, and it doesn't seem like the fans are taking it out on the players, which is a good thing. But now all of a sudden the team is kicking fans out because they're speaking outwardly against how they handled that? Really? That to me is the soft part. That to me is the bad of the bad.
I agree.
Because now Mark Cuban's trying to talk this ownership off a ledge, making the move to begin with, and then they make the move, and now all of a sudden they don't want to answer for their crimes.
Yeah.
So now you don't want to go up to the podium and actually talk about it. Now you don't want media availability. You don't want to face the fans. How are you serving the fan base if you're afraid to face them?
How did they think this was going to go?
How are you serving the fan base if you're afraid to face them?
How could you be that naive to not know something like this was going to happen?
Apparently,
how
either hiring security, and then the police said there's no threats against his life, so that's not true. Whatever it may be, both sides. The fact that he's worried about it. Wait, you didn't see this coming?
Right.
You didn't see that the fans would be upset and fans maybe act a little irrationally? All the people in Dallas, really? You didn't see this coming. And now all of a sudden you got Anthony Davis hurt, so it looks that much worse. Now you look like an idiot.
You traded the next big thing when I could argue he is the thing right now in the NBA. I mean, let's call it for what it is. LeBron's always the ticket that's probably going to sell the most as long as he's in the league.
And there might be something
at the level
too.
That he
and
is.
there might be something to the fact that Luka has personal issues, whether it's a drinking problem or whatever it may be.
Whatever the hell it is. But he was, Colin, the future of the NBA. Everyone looked at, all right, Luka and Wemby are probably the next two big things. For a long time, it was LeBron and Curry. For a long time, it was Kobe and LeBron. For a long time, it was Kobe and Michael. And then however the hell you want to say who carried the torch next. It was probably supposed to be Luka in Dallas and Wemby in San Antonio. And then all of a sudden, you trade that guy who Dallas fans just saw go to a championship. I still ask this question. What do you think was going to happen? What do you think your fan base is going to do?
I had the problem with kicking out the fans. Are you kicking out the fans?
Of course all hell.
Shame on you, dude.
Of course all hell broke loose. You traded one of the most popular players and best players in the league without telling anybody.
I mean, who are they supposed to tell? I mean, I understand that. It was secret,
meaning tell Luka and his people. give it out there to the other teams and listen, I know the report or whatever. I'm not buying that. I understand that's out there. I'm not buying that. This was a Laker and a Dallas thing, and that was it. Shame on the Mavericks, and I'm sick for my
How do you know it's a Laker and a Dallas? You can't say that when you don't know that. You can't say that.
Colin, it's a gut feeling. You ever have a gut feeling?
Yeah, it's a gut feeling that has no merit.
All
right, your gut feeling. Let's run away with it.
Colin, it's a gut feeling, and I don't care whatever these bogus reports are coming out. They're trying to save their ass.
Maybe.
They're trying to save their ass.
How's that worked out? So what? All right. So